first, let's move to smart home with you, Bruno Barlet. You're Executive Vice President France for Legrand. Everything seems to need to be smart in a home right now. Why is so?
Yeah, everything is becoming smart everywhere, in fact. So at home, at the office, in the car, and anywhere. So what I propose is a short video, one-minute video, and then we discover a few about Legrand Elliott program, which is our IoT program, and some solutions.
Let's do so.
Thank you.
Here's a little story about things. In the kitchen, at work, on your arm. Things were everywhere. But they weren't going anywhere. They just did what they did. Things. But then, things got a bit exciting. Things got connected. Really connected. Creative. Multi-talented. And when all the crazy things were happening around us, we smiled and worked on. Because all these years we've been making useful and reliable things in a responsible way. To achieve things like energy saving, health monitoring and security, personalization and comfort, continuity and efficiency, even in romance. Because above all, things should be connected to life. Elliott by Legrand, bringing things to life.
So, some of you know Legrand probably. For people which are not familiar with the electrical building equipment, Legrand is a worldwide specialist on electrical and digital solutions for buildings. It's a French company, 4.5 billion euros in 2014, present in 80 countries. So first market being North America. 5% of our business is invested in R&D, and we develop lots of new solutions for buildings, even if the core traditional business is still very important. We develop EV charging solutions, home automation, building control, lighting control solutions, energy monitoring, lots of new equipments that need to combine electrical and digital. Probably one thing which is more familiar to you is one of the first things that you did this morning waking up was switching a light, and like 1.5 billion people across the world, you did it with a Legrand switch. So this switch will become connected for sure. A part of it will become very soon connected. Why? Because, in fact, what we feel is in the building, like everywhere, the technology is meeting new needs, and the Internet of Things is bringing a wider scope of solution and services around a product that usually was standalone and passive at the end of the day. So for this reason, we started this year an IoT program in Legrand, which is called Elliott. Elliott being the combination of electricity and Internet of Things. And we wanted also to name this program with a nice word which is a bit human, because we think that these things need to be useful, need to be well-designed, need to be easy to use, because you live in the building on a very smooth and fluid way, in fact. So our vision about it is that Internet of Things in the building will be growing by more or less 20% a year in the next 5 years. So it's a huge trend everywhere in the world. It will be the case in all buildings. What we see every day is a lot about home, smart home. But these smart things will be in this building, in the hotels, in the offices, education, data centers, infrastructure, retail, everywhere. Industry, for sure. We spoke about industry a few minutes ago. So, in fact, the connectivity is everywhere. And what we feel in our business, that 60% of the use of the products and services driven by this trend will be B2B. Why? Because B2B, the commercial and industrial building are much more involved around efficiency, productivity, maintenance, much more than home. At home, you speak mainly about comfort, connectivity, entertainment, security. But in the rest of the building, there is a huge scope of new services to be built up with these solutions. For this reason, we also invest a lot on the IT infrastructure in the building, which is one of the core activities for Legrand today. And we have a dedicated business unit to this activity with a very proactive acquisition strategy on both building network, building network, data centers, and all the connectivity solutions around the network, because our behavior is considering that at the center of Internet of Things, you need for sure energy and you need network, and a strong network. And the scope of our activities, in the center you see this infrastructure, we consider that more than the half of our activities will become connected in the next years across this Elliott program. And for sure, it's not a pure Legrand, standalone or proprietary approach. We are very open, and we discuss with many partners for connecting our solution to partners once, because it's enlarging the scope of services that you can propose to your end user at the end of the day. So it's also, this program of IoT is developing a huge partnership program, building up interoperability technologies such as connectivity on Wi-Fi, Z-Wave, Zigbee, different technology alliances, but also working with some other industry stakeholders that develop a better solution with us. And also an important piece of this program is the design one, because which is very important in our solutions is that each single product has been designed, has been starting with a user approach. And when we start building a connected solution, the user experience is becoming the bigger one. In the buildings, we were used to sell products where was fitted in the building, and then they keep quiet in somewhere in this building, and that's it. And with connected solutions, the life is starting after the construction site. The real life is a wider one. So there is a huge work around design and user experience. And also 4 values, very strong values that we integrate in this program. First one is sustainability, because building needs to be reliable. You don't change anything in a building from one week to another. So it's years of life and years of reliability that you have to manage. Second point, it has to be scalable, because the building is not a one-shot operation. As far as you enter in, you renovate, improve, modify, people change inside, so you have also to be scalable. We look for bringing a real added value and no, I would say, gadgets, so something which is strong and brings real value. And also we are very cautious on the intimacy and the respect of privacy, because home is your personal life at the end of the day. So we are very cautious about respect of customer data, even if data will bring service for sure, but people are proprietary of the data, and we must respect that. So our program is very dynamic. We are already selling close to 200 million euros with solutions that have an integrated connectivity, even if the acceleration is very strong now, and we think that it's a double-digit growth that we will manage in the next 5 years. And some Elliott solutions will come from Q1 2016, energy management solution. Lots of them are also already integrate the existing stock of buildings, because in fact this business has to be a plug and play. We must integrate that it must be fitted anywhere. So energy management, assisted living. It was very interesting to hear about your presentation from Qualcomm Life and how to maintain people at home and to take care of them. So we have also that type of solution, but more to connect the aged people to service platforms with terminal that can bring information or call for urgency. Emergency lighting, everything which is about emergency lighting in this building will be connected tomorrow, because the people who maintain this building have to monitor the capacity of this equipment to function well. Video access control, home automation, plug-and-play home automation. Secure power is also managed every day more. Connected electrical panels. If you have at home an electrical problem, you will be informed anyway. And also, because all this is fitted by professionals, we are working on digitizing everything about the commissioning process for professionals to make it easier. And this is backed up with a CRM in the back, which is connecting our professional to us, because once this solution will be connected in the building, new services, and we feel that professional in the electrical equipment for buildings will become every day more a service business, much more than a construction process. It will be a long time process of maintaining these equipments.
Thank you very much, Bruno, for this use case. So actually, I was, how can we think about this question of smart home? Because a lot has been said, and the user case presented by Bruno at Legrand a few seconds ago is kind of thrilling, and just, you know, in the process of having everything smart into a home and the building, and the fact that it will apply more to B2B than B2C is also a new information there. Do you have any question?
Yes, so thank you very much, Bruno. Very interesting presentation, and I see a huge potential in the smart home. My question is maybe similar to my previous questions. It's more about the business model. I think from Legrand perspective, you are not a service provider, right? You are deploying these as products to enable the service. Mm-hmm. So who will be providing those services, and how are people going to pay for that?
For me, there will be two types of situations. For the most critical part of the electrical equipment in the big buildings, where you have a critical situation like hospitals, data centers, or a big industry, our companies will provide some services. The most critical one that needs the manufacturer to be involved in the service process. This is a good example, for instance, in the UPS industry, the energy, the uninterruptible power supply systems are very often maintained by manufacturers. And for all the rest, which is very wide scope of buildings and which is a spread business at the end of the day, you cannot operate as a manufacturer that type of services from your standpoint, because it's just a mess. It is every day, everywhere, in all buildings. For that type of day-to-day service, we are preparing our stakeholders, I mean electrical contractors. I think that networks of electrical contractors trained and tooled by manufacturers will build up service after the building, after the construction building, you know, because in fact these companies were used to build up and go. And now probably lots of them will build up the project and then keep on a service as a service provider after.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's a big change for this industry.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Bruno, again.